inside the strange world of the Duggar family's secret cover-ups. For over a decade, the Duggar family has captivated the hearts of millions through their reality TV show, 19 Kids and Counting. However, in recent years, the Duggar family has been embroiled in a series of controversies that have thrust them into the unforgiving spotlight of public scrutiny. Jill didn't want the birth of her first child on TV. One of the biggest confessions Jill Duggar had was that she was opposed to filming the delivery of her first child on the show. Jill didn't go into details about what happened behind the scenes, but she stated she basically lost that battle. Jim Bob deceived Jill into signing a contract extension with TLC. It's purported that Jim Bob deceived his children into signing contract extensions just to keep the show 19 Kids and Counting on TV, regardless of what would be best for them. All the negotiations and business meetings had already happened, just not with Jill. Accusations against Josh Duggar. By now, we've all heard about Josh Duggar's abuse scandal, but it may be worse than all of us originally thought. In 2015, a report was released that Josh was inappropriate with 5 underage girls between 2002 and 2003. The Duggars knew about Josh Duggar. After the police report was obtained by In Touch magazine, it revealed that Jim Bob knew about Josh Duggar's behaviors as early as 2002. Even more, accusations were made in 2003, so he definitely knew about his son. Jim Bob Duggar hid his son's actions maliciously. Jim Bob not only knew about the abuse Josh put his sisters through, but they actively hid it to advance their social standing. Josh was set to marry a former state senator's daughter, and Jim Bob didn't want any news to come out about Josh until after the wedding. A state trooper was also in on Josh's cover-up. After a former friend of Jim Bob found out in detail about Josh's actions, he was adamant that Josh confess his crimes. Once Jim Bob agreed, the three of them went to the state trooper's office. And it turns out the state trooper didn't do anything about it. He allegedly said, "I'm gonna let you go this time, but if you do it again, I'm really gonna come down hard on you." Jill Duggar was forced into Megyn Kelly interview. After Josh's scandal got out, the Duggars were forced to scramble to maintain their relationship with TLC and with their fans. To repair things, 2 of the Duggar daughters, Jill and Jessa, opened up about their experiences with Megyn Kelly. However, it wasn't voluntary, as she put it. Danica Dillon's claims against Josh Duggar. In 2015, Danica Dillon came out and stated that she met with Josh Duggar while his wife Anna was pregnant. During this time, he allegedly hurt her. Later, she filed a $500,000 lawsuit against Josh Duggar. Not too long after, she dropped the case after Josh Duggar claimed he had evidence that she was lying. Josh Duggar and Ashley Madison. One of the other scandals involving Josh Duggar was that it had been revealed he had a profile on Ashley Madison. A data leak revealed Josh Duggar had been a user between 2012 through 2014. During this time, he was married to his wife Anna. Josh Duggar's arrest and booking. Everything hit the fan when Josh Duggar was arrested and booked for something that would totally destroy the family's reputation permanently. In 2021, U.S. Marshals arrested Josh Duggar on federal charges of receiving and possessing inappropriate images. The Duggar family's live-in tutor's husband was once convicted. In 2017, a source reported that the Duggar family had hired a live-in tutor that was married to a man, Tim Robertson, that had once been charged with assault in 1999. Timothy Robertson had pled guilty and was sentenced to 3 years in prison for his crime. The Duggar children were subjected to physical punishment. A key interview in the docuseries was with the Duggars' cousin, Amy King. One thing she told everyone was that Jim Bob wasn't opposed to using physical punishment on his children, sometimes to the extreme. Granted, some of us already suspected this may be the case, but it had never been confirmed by anyone in the family. Joy Anna's wedding and pregnancy rumors. Joy Anna Duggar was accused of having her first child out of wedlock, and some believe it might be the reason the couple got married in the first place. Some have even said it might be why the wedding date was moved closer by a shocking 5 months. Michelle Duggar's robocall campaign. In 2014, at the same time as Josh Duggar's scandal broke, Michelle lent her voice to a robocall campaign that was devoted to overturning a local ordinance about gay people. Michelle's reaction to a gay crew member. Michelle apparently targeted one crew member in particular while Counting On was on the air. She requested that the crew member be removed and moved to another TLC program. Why? That crew member was gay. Derek Dillard's controversial tweets. In 2017, Dillard made disparaging comments about another TLC reality star, Jazz Jennings, targeting the fact that he was also a transgender activist. After I Am Jazz was released, Dillard called the show an oxymoron. Derek Dillard was fired from Counting On. TLC quickly acted, especially since Jazz was another TLC star on the network. A statement was released announcing that Dillard would no longer appear on Counting On. the Duggar spin-off show featuring Jill and Derek from time to time. Ginger Duggar's husband avoiding the internet. As of 2019, Jeremy Vuolo, husband of Ginger Duggar, admitted that he doesn't use the internet in a behind-the-scenes podcast called Little People, Big Worlds. However, it's not due to a lack of interest, and in fact, it's the exact opposite. He avoids the internet to avoid temptation. Jill's claims her father was emotionally abusive. In addition to the abuse at the hands of her own brother, Jill faced a different kind of abuse from her father, claiming that he was verbally abusive towards her. Jill has described her relationship with her father as toxic. Currently, she avoids communicating with her father. Jill and Derek potentially scammed fans. Jill Duggar and her husband, Derek Dillard, were also accused of misappropriating donation money back in 2015. Allegedly using funds they received for an aid mission trip to El Salvador, they left their mission to fly back home twice in order to attend weddings. Instagram followers were displeased, to say the least. Jill wasn't allowed to be a midwife for an unmarried woman. Jill was banned from midwifing for an unmarried woman, who was even a family friend no less. The woman in question was Susanna Keller, Josh Duggar's sister-in-law. However, the fact that Susanna Keller had a child out of wedlock did not sit well with the Duggar family, so Jill was banned from acting as her midwife. Jill may not be a certified midwife. Many fans of the Duggar family have come to question Jill's midwife credentials, suggesting that she may not in fact be a certified midwife. Despite having helped her sister Joy Anna deliver her baby, she doesn't actually work as a midwife, which is suspect to say the least. Josh was part of a boys' club named BOYCOT. As a child, Josh Duggar became involved in a boys' club called BOYCOT, which stands for Boys Christian Outreach Team. Josh and his friends began the club after learning that a local convenience store was selling materials that they believed to be disagreeable at the time. TLC helped pay for their house. The TLC network helped pay for the building of the family's 7,000-square-foot home. Jim Holt, who was a former friend of Jim Bob, alleged that he needed help getting his house done. The show made arrangements to finish it, which was $200,000 or several $100,000 to get it finished. The IBLP was very misogynistic. The Institute in Basic Life Principles, of which the Duggars are a part, teaches some very misogynistic principles, according to ex-member Chad Harris. In the Netflix documentary about the Duggars, Harris recalled a friend of his was never taught math at the Institute because, you use fractions in baking, and that's good enough, his friend's dad had said. The Duggars burned Disney stuff. Amy King, a cousin of the Duggar siblings, recalled a huge bonfire where they burned everything Disney and, literally everything that was worldly. The family believed that Disney was indecent. They even insisted that Eeyore of Winnie the Pooh glorified depression. Jill was never paid. After asking TLC for financial compensation to cover her medical expenses for the birth of her first child, they insisted that they already paid it to the family, which meant that Jim Bob received the money and that Jill never saw a dime of it. In fact, she clarified to say that, for 7.5 years of my adult life, I was never paid. They couldn't own Cabbage Patch dolls. Brooke Arnold, an ex-IBLT member, also noted that certain toys were looked down upon by the organization, including Barbie dolls and Cabbage Patch dolls, which were deemed to be demonic. Jill is now estranged from her family. Jill is currently estranged from her family since her husband Derek Dillard was fired from the show, also in part due to her speaking out against the family. She claims, everything within the family dynamic has shifted and not for the better, adding, we're very much on the outside with the family. Jill was discouraged from speaking her mind. Jill had often been discouraged from speaking her mind by the IBLP itself and by her family, which reinforced those ideas. Having a voice about what you think and how you feel, she said, and being able to say no about things was stifled and not encouraged in the IBLP setting, in my family. Find more at alot.com.